Section 1. Beyond the score, a different kind of mind. Have you ever wondered what it's really like to have a genius-level IQ? We often imagine someone who solves complex math problems in their head or memorizes entire encyclopedias. We see the big brainiacs on TV and think we get it. But that picture is wildly incomplete. It's like looking at a single pixel and thinking you've seen the entire masterpiece. High intelligence isn't just about being smarter in the way we typically think of it. It's about possessing a fundamentally different operating system for the mind. It's a completely different way of experiencing reality, of processing information, and of navigating the world around you. Many genuine traits associated with an extremely high IQ are not what you would expect. Some are surprising, even shocking. They can seem like contradictions. For example, what if I told you that a sign of profound intelligence could be a tendency toward crippling anxiety, or that having a razor-sharp mind might actually make it harder to connect with other people in a meaningful way? These aren't the glamorous traits we see in movies. They are the complex, often messy, realities of a brain that is wired differently from the vast majority of the population. It's a world of intense highs and sometimes bewildering lows. Throughout this exploration, we're going to pull back the curtain on the psychology of the exceptionally gifted. We will move beyond the stereotypes and the simple test scores to uncover the real cognitive and emotional landscape of these individuals. We'll dive into scientific research and hear stories that illuminate what it truly means to think differently. This isn't just a list of fun facts. It's a deep dive into the very mechanics of a mind that perceives the world with a unique intensity and depth. You'll learn why their curiosity is insatiable and why they often feel like outsiders looking in. Prepare to have your assumptions challenged. We are going to unpack 10 of the most startling traits that psychologists have linked to extremely high intelligence. From their unique sense of humor to their heightened moral sensitivity, we will examine the evidence behind each one. By the end, you won't just see high IQ as a number on a page. You will understand it as a profound and multifaceted human experience, one that comes with its own incredible strengths and its own very specific set of challenges. This journey will change how you think about intelligence forever. Let's start with a simple hook to get you thinking. Imagine a person who can see connections that no one else can. They don't just solve the puzzle in front of them. They see the 10 other puzzles it's connected to and how they all fit into a larger invisible system. While everyone else is looking at the trees, this person is seeing the entire forest, the root system underneath, the weather patterns shaping its future. This ability to perceive deep, underlying patterns is a core feature of a high IQ mind. It's a constant, involuntary process, one that can be both a superpower and a heavy burden. This kind of thinking shapes every single aspect of their life. It affects how they learn, it affects how they work, and most profoundly, it affects how they relate to others. When your brain is constantly processing information at a deeper level and faster speed, simple conversations can feel frustratingly slow. You might find yourself finishing other people's sentences in your head, not out of arrogance, but because you've already run through the logical conclusion of their thought. This can lead to misunderstandings and social friction, making the gifted individual feel isolated in a world that seems to operate in slow motion. In this series, we will unpack these hidden realities. We promise to deliver more than just a list. We're going to give you insights, stories, and a new framework for understanding the people in your life who think differently. Maybe it's a colleague, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's even yourself. We will explore why these individuals are often plagued by a relentless sense of curiosity, driving them to ask why long after everyone else is satisfied with the answer. We'll discuss why they may struggle with boredom in conventional environments, and why they need constant intellectual stimulation to feel alive. Our goal is to provide a comprehensive look at the psychological makeup of the exceptionally intelligent. We will examine the cognitive machinery that allows for incredible feats of problem-solving and creativity. But we will also look at the emotional dimensions and the social dimensions that are so often overlooked. You'll gain practical guidance on how to better communicate and how to connect with these unique minds. This isn't just about understanding them. It's about upgrading how you think, how you learn, and how you understand people in general. creating a bridge to a world that often remains unseen. Section 1. Decoding the numbers. What is high IQ? When we talk about a high IQ, what are we actually talking about? Most people think of it as a simple score, a number you get from a test filled with tricky questions. An IQ score of 130 or above is generally considered to be in the gifted range, placing someone in the top 2% of the population. But this number is just a signpost, not the destination itself. It points toward a set of underlying cognitive abilities that function at a much higher level than average. It's not just about knowing more facts, it's about the brain's raw power to learn, reason, handle complexity. It's the engine, not the library of information it has collected over time. Think of it like this. An IQ test is a sort of cognitive obstacle course. It measures how efficiently and effectively your mind can perform specific tasks. These tasks are designed to assess things like verbal reasoning, perceptual skills, working memory, how quickly you process information. A high score suggests that your brain is exceptionally good at navigating these obstacles. It indicates a high general intelligence factor, often called G. This G factor is like a master key that unlocks the ability to excel across a wide range of intellectual challenges, from understanding complex language to spotting subtle visual details and manipulating abstract concepts in your head. So a high IQ is fundamentally a measure of cognitive aptitude, not accumulated knowledge. You could have a genius-level IQ and know very little about world history, for instance. But your high aptitude means you could learn it much faster and with greater depth than the average person. It's the potential to learn, not the learning itself. This is a crucial distinction. It separates the brain's hardware, its processing speed and memory capacity, from the software it runs, which is the knowledge and skills acquired through experience and education. Its processing speed, memory capacity, the knowledge and skills acquired through experience and education. A high IQ individual has a top-of-the-line processor capable of running incredibly complex programs. This raw cognitive horsepower shapes how a person perceives and interacts with everything. It's not an ability they can simply turn on or off. It's the default setting of their mind. It means they are constantly, and often involuntarily, processing the world around them with greater intensity and complexity. They don't just hear a conversation. They analyze structure, subtext, and logical consistency. They don't just see a problem. They see a web of interconnected variables. This underlying cognitive machinery is the foundation for all the surprising traits we are about to explore, defining their unique experience of reality. Section 2. The pattern seekers, the power of recognition. One of the most fundamental characteristics of a high IQ mind is an extraordinary ability to recognize patterns. This isn't just about seeing repeating shapes in a wallpaper design. It's the capacity to perceive deep, abstract, and often hidden connections in vast amounts of information. Where most people see random data points or disconnected events, the highly intelligent mind sees a system. The highly intelligent mind sees a structure. The highly intelligent mind sees a narrative. It's an almost compulsive drive to find the underlying logic or the unifying principle that ties everything together. This ability allows them to make sense of complexity and to predict future outcomes with surprising accuracy. It's like having a built-in codebreaker for reality. This pattern seeking isn't a conscious, deliberate effort. It's an automatic and often instantaneous process. It applies to everything: music, language, social dynamics, complex systems. When listening to a piece of music, they might not just hear a melody. They perceive the intricate harmonic progressions. They perceive the rhythmic structures that give the piece its emotional weight. In a business meeting, they can quickly identify the unspoken power dynamics, hidden agendas, by connecting subtle cues in language and body posture. This is why they often seem to have uncanny intuition. It's not magic, but a high-speed, subconscious analysis of patterns that others miss. This constant pattern recognition is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it's the engine of creativity and innovation. Great scientific discoveries, artistic masterpieces, brilliant business strategies are often born from seeing a new pattern no one else has noticed before. It allows them to learn new languages or skills with incredible speed because they quickly grasp the underlying grammar or rules of the system. This is the superpower aspect of high intelligence, the ability to bring order to chaos and derive meaning from noise. It fuels their insatiable curiosity, as each new pattern discovered opens up a dozen more questions to explore. On the other hand, this relentless pattern seeking can be mentally exhausting. The mind never truly rests. It can lead to overthinking and analysis paralysis, as they see so many connections and potential outcomes that choosing a single path becomes difficult. It can also make them acutely aware of inconsistencies, logical fallacies, and hypocrisy in the world around them, which can be a source of constant frustration and disillusionment. When your brain is wired to see the flaws in every system, it can be hard to find peace in an imperfect world. This trait is both a source of genius and a driver of internal turmoil. Section 3. The mental workbench. Superior working memory and processing speed. Imagine your mind has a workbench where you can hold and manipulate information. This is your working memory. For most people, this workbench is relatively small. They can hold about 7 pieces of information at a time, like the digits of a phone number. For someone with a very high IQ, this mental workbench is significantly larger and more organized. They can hold and juggle a much greater number of concepts simultaneously. This allows them to see how multiple ideas relate to each other, to compare them, to combine them, to build complex mental models without losing track of any of the pieces. It's a core component of deep thinking and complex problem solving. Paired with this expanded working memory is a much faster processing speed. The brain is not only holding more information, but it's also manipulating it at a higher velocity. Thoughts move more quickly. Connections are made in an instant. If the average mind is like a reliable family sedan, the high IQ mind is like a Formula One race car. This speed allows them to run through arguments, scenarios, possibilities in their head at a breathtaking pace. It's why they can often grasp a complex topic after a brief explanation or solve a puzzle while others are still reading the instructions. It's an efficiency of thought that compounds their intellectual power. This combination of a large working memory and high processing speed is what enables the impressive feats we often associate with genius. It's what allows a chess grandmaster to simulate dozens of moves ahead, or a physicist to visualize the interactions of subatomic particles. They can construct intricate chains of logic, hold the entire argument in their mind at once, and spot flaws or gaps that would be invisible to someone processing the information piece by piece. This cognitive capacity is a tremendous advantage in any field that requires dealing with high levels of complexity, from programming, engineering, law, strategic planning. However, this speed can create a significant gap in communication with others. The high IQ individual may have already raced ahead to the conclusion and become impatient while others are still processing the initial premise. What feels like a natural and comfortable pace for them can feel rushed and overwhelming to others. This can lead to them being perceived as arrogant, impatient, or poor communicators, when in reality their minds are simply operating on a different clock speed. They often have to learn to consciously slow down their thinking and break down their thought processes into smaller, more digestible steps to effectively connect with the people around them. Subscribe for deep psychology insights that upgrade how you think, learn, and understand people. Like this video if you love learning how the mind works. Save it and share it with someone who thinks differently. Turn on notifications for more powerful psychology content.